Welcome back to the world. It's been over a week since Hurricane Melissa slammed into the Caribbean, leaving a trail of immense destruction and a death toll of at least 50 people. The storm brought winds of more than 200 kilometres per hour and torrential rain, triggering landslides, flooding and severe damage to homes and infrastructure, leaving behind a humanitarian crisis. Jamaican-American reggae star Shaggy was among those who paused his life and flew to Jamaica to help those whose lives were torn apart, and is now doing what he can to use his star power to keep the story front of mind. I spoke to Shaggy a little earlier today.
When I saw that the hurricane was coming, I'm an island boy. I've lived in Kingston my whole life, so we've ridden out a couple of hurricanes. The biggest one was that I could remember was Gilbert, which is a Category 3. So when I heard about a Category 5, I'm saying to myself, well, this is going to be catastrophic. So I loaded up a plane, and I just waited for when the airport was open. As soon as it was open, I got in, hit the ground, got some supplies, and we put them in small vans and just kind of rolled through it. And that's how we got through most of it. 70% of the island is without electricity and running water. So we just gave water out at that point and drove 6 hours back to Kingston and regrouped and did it the next day again and took another route and got there in about 4 hours.
Yeah, it feels very much like, a beg, borrow, steal, DIY approach, asking for people for their aircraft, using ChatGPT to figure out what you needed. It very much was you trying to figure this out yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no expert at relief aid and disaster preparedness or anything like that. So ChatGPT was the only thing we could do.
And when you got there and you talked about just moving around and how long the drive was in and out and to these other places from Kingston, but just talk us through what you found, what you saw, how the people were they getting the support that they needed?
So what we did, we went down the first night, and it took us a long time to get there. We drove through water. We got stuck because the sand from the sea came all over, and the bus got stuck. The trucks got stuck. We had to push it out. And the next day when I came back, I regrouped. I actually transferred everything into smaller vehicles and went down there.
And it was St. Elizabeth Parish that you went to, which was the hardest hit. What's the situation for the people on the ground there now?
I don't know if it was the hardest hit. I know that was because Clarendon is pretty hit, Savile is hit pretty bad. There's a lot. Everything on the west is hit bad. I don't want to say one place is more than none. This is just what I saw. I went down to Black River because that's the first place we heard that was hit really, really hard. And we got in there. It looked like a bomb had exploded.
And the Prime Minister has said this is just a warning of what may continue to come. And you've talked about surviving and living through other hurricanes in the past. For you, the worst one before this in 1988, when it was just, that was bad too, Category 3. This was a Category 5. But do you think that this is something that, the people on the island will continue to see and have to live through because of climate change?
You know what? Nothing can compare you or prepare you for a Category 5. It's never been seen. This is new, So I don't think the government could have been prepared for it. No one was prepared for it. Will it be something that's going to live on? Absolutely. The psychological effects that it's going to have on some of these children is. My prayers are out to them. I had a conversation with some of these kids. You could see it in their eyes. They're traumatized, A couple of days before that, they were just playing, and now they're standing in long queues trying to figure out to find food to put in their tummies. The psychological effect. So it's not just rebuilding and getting food and shelter and clothes. We need counselors. We need people to help these children.
Are you going to continue to mobilize and help to push to keep the attention on the situation on the ground? Because, often we see the cameras move on, people's attention moves on very quickly from these disasters, and the people are left to sort of fend for themselves and figure it out long after everyone has gone.
Well, that's the main thing we're doing is trying to keep it in the press, which is why I'm having conversations with you and other news media, because we realize, in having conversation with GEM and Food for the Poor and some of these organizations, charitable organizations, they all say the same thing. The minute it's out of the press, the aid stops. I think my role as one of the top artists, and mine and Sean, is to really be able to get on these platforms and spread the word.